they're going to have more success with just playing their comfort picks against the team this time at Escape Gaming. But I certainly feel that there were like a lot of glimpses of hope from Escape's performance in the earlier series. We saw Trixie suffer in some of the games, but he also had a pretty good game where he was able to make kind of the heroes that are able to find those pickoffs, like the axe and such, heroes that are used to move around the map, pair it up with someone like Era, getting the lifestealer combination, which we saw have a lot of effect, that kind of duo. So I think it all really depends, and I'm very interested to see what hero they do give to Trixie, because some heroes he can really pull out amazing plays, other heroes it does seem like he struggles a little bit more.
Well, we're going to find out which hero they are going to give to Trixie, because we are in the draft of the first game of Escape versus Imperial. We're in the lower bracket, is round 1, and whoever loses this round will indeed go home. It will be Imperial on Dire, Escape on Radiant, and we have a Drow and OD band with a Lifestealer and
of course, they noted that Escape Gaming, they're a team that would pick up the bat to stop Imperial getting the bat, you know what I mean? So they have to ban it.
What's up with the OD first ban? Because so far Imperial, sure, Baby Knight likes it, but I mean, we have not seen OD, I think, it was picked at all today?
Well, no, I mean, in the series
against
Imperial, Liquid banned it second, both games.
Yeah, second.
Other teams have had it available to them and not taken it though, so.
But Baby Knight's OD is arguably one of his, I'd say his top two best heroes.
Yeah. I think these are the same two bans that Liquid used against Imperial, the Drow OD from Mike.
Yeah, it was Drow, OD, Sniper. I'm going to be interested to see if Escape Gaming do ban the Sniper as well, or if we have seen teams go against Imperial, they're like, yeah, we don't like the Drow, we don't like the OD, Sniper, we can beat a Sniper, and they let it through. But Escape Gaming with that instant pick on, secondly on getting Coifer's Invoker. I mean, I wonder with that, if they pick that up this early so they feel that they don't have to ban the Sniper, because they feel that already they kind of put Imperial off picking it with that early mid pick.
Sniper's okay against the Invoker just because you sit back alright, but I think this is the hero that it turned around the series initially for Escape. When they lost game 1, they were like, we need Koiko on a bigger, more playmaking hero. We want that can dish out some damage. They picked him Invoker, then come game 3, Invoker was first stage banned because of how good a hero was for them. So I think Escape want to make sure they just get Koiko in a position to shine once again. And I don't think it completely deters the Sniper.
Yeah, you could still see Baby Knight pulling it through. And
that's
actually the Baby Knight. Actually, both calls play it.
It's only Ace who plays it, but this is like a direct counter against the Exo Invoker. Whether or not you want to lane it against the Invoker is another matter, but yeah, it could theoretically be either lane.
Yeah.
And it's a Imperial staple. I mean, this is their hero. They play it as one of the only teams that still plays PA as often as they do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a hero that's some teams do sometimes pick it up, but yeah, by no means is there any other team that picks it up as regularly as we've seen Imperial do.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to see Era play Juggernaut again? I know I do. Here it comes. Any moment now, right?
Yeah, it's
ban it, I guess.
Good against maybe ban it because it's good against PA because Omnislash doesn't care about evasion, but yeah, that's an annoying hero. Healing Ward's good against PA as well because often the hero is just throwing stifling daggers from afar, doesn't kill Healing Ward at all. So.
I mean, as well, I think at this point, if you're Escape, you might want to think about Hester Joe picking up Slardar. And I don't know if that's something you necessarily might want to ban, because Slardar and PA is dirty, and indeed, straight up, they ban the Slardar. You do not let that through, especially a team like Imperial. Hester Joe, I kind of put his best 3 heroes as kind of the Bat, the Slardar, and the Sand King. So you just take that out.
Yeah, the Darkseer was the other ban targeted at him, where it's like Darkseer and PA is a similar thing, where Darkseer just gives PA more damage, more mobility, and is a big problem hero to deal with paired with a PA.
I'm a little interested what Hester Joe is going to be playing this game, because they themselves banning out the SK, so a lot of very, very strong offlane has been taken out already in this draft. Seems to be the main target, really, of this drafting phase from both teams.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Offlane is very limited right now, with 5 offlaners banned out. There's still the Void, Tidehunter.
Yeah.
They play Legion Commander quite a lot, which could be something they consider.
I'd still kind of like to see the joke for Escape Gaming.
Did Sim just yell at his monitor?
I think he blew dust off it.
Okay. What are you doing?
He blew it a kiss. No, oh, look at that, Faceless Void. Dream League last season staple of Escape Gaming. We used to call them the double bubble team.
We did. And
Yeah,
great
Enigma
synergy
Void.
with Invoker as well.
Uh-huh. You put them in that lockdown, you throw some meatballs, and you got yourself one heck of a Olive Garden dinner there.
You get some fatal bonds on
Very
there.
good against PA as well.
Oh,
So
really?
the PA's got to be careful about how she jumps in, because immediately, as you said, you know, a Chrono and a Sunstrike, and bam, the PA's gone in the earlier stages of the game.
Perhaps needs some extra control from Imperial because, I mean, so far,
Maybe-
like, how are you going to deal with that team fight coming out from Escape?
I wonder if they do get... I mean, they're not really a team that plays something like an Oracle a lot. It's some kind of saving hero. SD is still there. I don't know if they...
Io. Noya plays Io a
He
lot.
does, actually. IO...
Well, he's normally the ogre. If anything, they're more
Yeah,
like
it's
the
a
rise
Rise.
hero.
And
but
he's normally kind of Lion,
Lion,
Rubik.
Rubik is the two big ones. But Lion is pretty good against the Void because you've got a lot of lockdown. You can stop the time walk. He likes to go
Yep.
for that max impale and hex build, skipping mana drain altogether.
A
But
hero that could be good. Slacks, you're gonna like it.
Huh?
Omni Knight.
Oh!
But does Imperial play? They go for the keep of the blinding light. Blinding light is very good inside that chronosphere. Make sure, or rather, if the coddle is outside anyway,
Yeah.
make sure that Faceless Void's not hitting anything. But you're still gonna have to deal with that damage coming out from Invoker and from the Warlock.
Yeah. I mean, if the call gets good axe timing, that's going to be fantastic, because
Yes.
you've now got some way to offer that AoE heal to negate some of the damage that the Invoker's throwing down. You're going to have the daytime flying vision to allow PA to find easier targets to jump onto. You've obviously got the extra mana to doll into the PA to get like that just double dagger spam as such, and deal huge amounts of nuke damage once PA's got a decent amount of items. But it's
Oh,
again,
hell yeah.
picking out the clock, and you'd imagine that's... I mean, Trixie can play it, or of course, Yap can play the support Clockwork.
Oh, we gotta see that support.
I
Clockwork.
want to see Yaps or Clockwork.
very good hero against Keeper of the Light in general because Keeper's always standing still, staying behind, throwing an Illuminate. You want to get to the guy, but you really can't. Clockwork, he'll get right on top of him. He'll stop that Illuminate spam coming out and be a big menace.
And all of a sudden, he can't really rush Aghanims anymore. He has to go for a 4-step first.
Yep.
Mana Force F isn't too bad in this game, though. I mean, Mana Leak is still going to be a great skill, and you can
Yeah, for
always
sure.
Mana Leak Force Staff him after the Mana Leak, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, guys.
Sure.
Hey, look at that video. It has square cogs.
Well, look at that.
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty
One
good.
fun time.
once upon a time. A game called Dota 2. Okay.
Imperial. Yeah, Esther Joe's hero is still really kind of up in the air what he goes for. Beastmaster, another one of the strong offlaners that we have seen him on in the past. Again, something that gives the vision for PA to jump from target to target. Something that you can also use to just make sure it's hard enough for the Warlock or the Void as such to get out those ults in the team fights.
Doing a bunch like lane push right now. I mean, Keep It Light is lane push, but like from that core, so that's saying PA doesn't have.
Oh, it's the baby knight brood.
This is another hero.
This is
that-
something that so many teams ban out against them in the second phase, was
Yeah.
the final ban. And Imperial, they have seen the chance to pick it up at this stage.
That's so good, and it's a great matchup versus the Invoker mid. Exo Invoker just dies against the Brood. They've only got one pick left to kind of try and pick something that can counter Brood.
I mean,
They can swap things around. They can put Era on the Void.
But you don't want
pick up
Void
a
safe
different
lane.
offlane.
Well, I guess Brood's not going to be offlane. At least you don't expect it.
You can pick something that's good against.
can Hester
Brood.
Joe play? I'm trying to think if we've ever seen them do it where Hester Joe plays the Brood.
I've seen. I want to say. I've
Yes,
seen
they
Ace
have.
play.
Ace,
I've
Hester
seen-
Joe, and
All
Baby
three?
Knight.
All play
All
Brood.
three play the Brood.
That's scary to go against
Yes.
because you don't know where that's coming.
Jesus.
You'd imagine Baby Knight because that's the
Against the Invoker.
Yeah,
that's the
Baby
signature.
Knight and Ace are the ones that play it most. Of
But-
the
That's a
three,
crazy
but
thing to say. Like the mid and the carry player play Brood more than the offlaner does, but yeah, it's definitely the case with this team. I think if you're Escape, you're definitely thinking about last picks onto some kind of a Sand King, Legion Commander, Axe type hero that can verse the Brood in lane, and even if it's not directly in lane, that later on can help clear out the waves, because none of those four heroes clear out Spiderlings at all.
Yeah. What are we missing on Escape? What do we need here?
A Brood counter.
Something
Yes.
that-
Oh, no.
I think that's the main thing you're
Okay.
looking
It,
at.
it depends where the Void and Clock are going.
Right. So
Yeah.
could they potentially get a Bounty Hunter? I mean, pretty good
Escape.
against Coddle, pretty good against Brood, not too bad against
theory-
early damage.
No AoE though. Like I think it's really bad against Brood in the early game. It's only good later on when you've got track for the following Brood. But
Okay.
In theory, Clockwork can be either offlane or support. Void can be either offlane or core. So they're very open in what they still can go for. If they like basically any pick that they want to go for, that would do what they want to do.
And I do like that Beastmaster ban. You know, as mentioned earlier, one of the strong offlaners that's still in the pool, and something that Hester Joe would definitely play.
Yeah, I think Axe is maybe the ban here. Oh, Sven actually, they're worried about the carry.
I think it's the offlane Void.
Yeah.
Well, they're more worried about that potential, just being there for the offlane Void.
Sven's really good against Brood. You can actually almost 1v1 him with the cleave build.
I mean, they could go for the Axe themselves, Imperial.
Yeah,
If they
that's
want
actually
to,
quite a good hero for them.
10 seconds remaining.
Well,
See, we're gonna find out very soon. I mean, that will also at least
5 seconds
probably
remaining.
reveal where that Brood's gonna go. They could still pick something up that leaves it completely up in the
They
air.
can really
but
switch it all around, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even as I mentioned, Baby Knight can play the PA mid. We've seen him do this before, and we've seen him have absolutely amazing games on Nature's Prophet back in the League Player Dream League. So I do like this final pick here from
And
Imperial.
Escape's just like, oh god, last time we
It's
versus
full
Nature's
wrap.
Prophet.
Oh, Dude, I'm saying,
Not again.
let's just send Clock into support, safe lane Void, let's get an off-lane Shaker going. You know, or maybe
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yapsor has played support Shaker recently, I want to say as well. I can't remember what it was in, but they could fit a Shaker into their draft.
Is that enough to deal with the Brood in the early
I mean,
game?
I still feel Shaker's just not a very good hero, but obviously just the threat of the Echo Slam is always going to be there in the minds.
Yeah.
If
They want an early game hero. They need an early game hero that can deal with
Oh, what
big
about a
fillet.
Pudge? Let's get Pudge in.
Oh,
That's wave clear.
yeah, that's great. Sure.
Probably, you want to say it's Era going to be playing the Timbersaw with an offlane Void, but those two they could swap it around a bit. You want to get that Timbersaw rapid if possible.
Wow. Imperial got a lot of cool picks, a lot of strange picks, but those things don't win games. I'm going to be going with Escape.
I'm on Team Sheev for this one.
Oh.
I gotta be honest, I'm liking that Timbersaw final pick. I'm gonna go with. I think that's gonna be a really strong hero this game.
We got an even split here. It is our first game, Escape Gaming. Can they do it? Can they beat Imperial? Can they beat the Brood? We're gonna hear it from our commentators. It is over to Annie and Fogged.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
By the Imperial.
And there's a really Brood Mother alive versus Imperial, at least in Dream League in the season, during the game, season play, but yeah, they even picked the Furion too. I feel like that might have been a little bit of just like overkill, but they really want to just emphasize on this split push, and then if the PA gets massive at one point,
promised.
Yeah, that's just an A standard build. Usually just a Desert Rush, but he really likes his Vlads. Gives him that sustain.
And back towards our mid lane, our Timbersaw, who was doing, exceptional in CS, is now being outdone by the Broodmother. She can just wobble on over to these neutrals, grab up some more spiders, and continue her push. When do you think this Broodmother is going to get real ugly? When does she just start charging towers and not giving a care about who's trying to stop her?
I mean, it is a little hard because Era's gonna be level 6 pretty soon, but I think it's whenever this Timbersaw rotates out of lane, he just puts the pressure on. But he's a
Yapzor. He just walks in, gets mana leaked up, sits in the safety of his cogs, but...
Now there's a port out from Hesta Joe. They're gonna put the pressure on Yapzor.
Absolutely.
He's gonna die.
He's got no more mana. He's trying to crawl his way through the trees, but first blood goes to our Nature's Prophet. They might be able to find Trixie as well. He's got 5 charges on his wand and has his time walk, but they've got the mana leak here. He has to sit still. He has to be patient. There is no Sprout available, but Trixie looks to be fighting this one out. There's going to be a blink forward from Ace. A couple more hits should do it, but Yapzor respawns, heads back in, wants to find the kill onto Hesta Joe. Looking for the cogs on him. We'll just try to burn up his mana. Looks like Yapzor will have to retreat. Faceless Void moving forward, does have the time walk, can use it aggressively.
Looking for the Sunstrike. I saw him kind of idling around the bottom lane.
There we go.
And
it will not connect. Hesta Joe definitely keen on that.
Yeah, I was watching him kind of just stand around looking for it. I knew he was going for that type of option, but yeah, like I kind of mentioned with like the Broodmother, since it's versus like this kind of like natural, I guess you could say, like counter in the mid lane, he can't really pressure this Timbersaw. He's able just like, he's gonna farm and he's just gonna send Broodlings to the jungle and he's gonna get that little extra farm. Even though he doesn't get the experience from killing those neutrals, he gets the money, so that's the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many sources for Escape to make some extra cash on the map. You've got Spiderlings, you've got Tree Ants. Is that going to start to add up for Escape if they keep clearing those?
I mean, if they're able to kill a lot of them, but I think that these guys they're very used to playing these heroes, so they shouldn't be feeding too many of the Broodlings or the Spiderlings. That it wouldn't make too much of a difference anyway. Like it's kind of hard for them to clear them like in those type of essences. It's just like you're not really gonna see him micro a stack of Broodlings onto a Timbersaw. It's just unlikely.
Yeah, right now, speaking of microing Broodlings, just going, clearing the jungle, keeping the cash flowing for our Brood Mama. Yep. She's doing really well in terms of overall net worth.
Yep, sitting on the top. This is just, it's a baby night special. This is just what he likes to do. I mean, him, Ace, and Hesta Joe, all three play this, and it's obnoxious.
I mean, is it just ultra situational? Is it a hero you pick when you're going up against someone like Escape that you read very well and know very well? Because it seems like Broodmother is just not picked, and you see what kind of power it can bring to the mid lane. Oh, down bottom, Noya. That cold snap doing some work. There's going to be the cogs. The Ogre is now trapped in, just trying to survive, trying to beat someone down, trying to get something there. Meanwhile, Hesta Joe will go for the trade, takes out the Invoker, most likely going to lose his own life here. Yapzor with that battery assault going to get sprouted up. One more hit, but he does have his wand. Still goes down in the end. Now Cinder in some serious trouble as Ace has made his way back down. It's going to be a triple kill for the Prophet as the trees do his dirty work there.
Nice movement there by Ace, coming down there, not really expected. Nice wraparound from Yapzor getting the Ogre, but Hesta Joe standing his ground fighting. Nice stick as well from Yapzor. I think we see this all the time, him save his stick charges and survive like with one hit. I think it's versus Imperial, I see it like most of the time too, but yeah, nice little trades, definitely benefiting Imperial a bit more. And now they're just going to keep the pressure on. Toigfa showed bottom lane, and Hesta Joe's porting in, but there's going to be some follow-up. Ace only has one more dagger after this. Toigfa does have the Wex invoke, Wex skilled up after that. One creep dies, and he's gold walks.
Escape, they're all moving in. They want to get something done. The Cog's burning up a little bit of mana of Hesta Joe, but he still seems nice and healthy. Cinder in, he's only level 4, nowhere near that chaotic offering, and now he's taking a ton of damage. Hesta Joe gobbling his way through the trees. There's going to be a TP in from the Timbersaw. He's going to be clearing out the map, looking for all those trees now. Nature's Prophet, he's still going in. Nice dagger is going to connect. That Invoker is back in the grave. Cinder in, he's getting low. He will have to retreat with the clockwork.
Yeah, Era actually ends up canceling his TP. I think it's hard for him to really move anyway, because they'll just take a tower if he does that. But Baby Knight, anyway, he moves to the top lane since Ace made the rotation, and he's ends up pressuring that a bit.
Yeah, he's been going. He made this little web path through so he can go ahead and take some Ancients for himself. Now, mid lane, we are going to have a rotation in. Nature's Prophet again with the global presence going in onto Era. They get the stun. He's also mana burned and will not live the Timber Chain across the river. So really nice rotations. Imperial just making their presence known on this map right now.
This Broodmother, I mean, it throws a wrench in your whole thing. You know, you're forced to put this Invoker safe lane. Invoker has 21 CS. He's only level 6 with the
Yapzor is going to get sprouted up. Hesta Joe on this Prophet.
Making the plays. He's all over the place.
Is today the day the Prophet comes back from the dead? Because it has had a huge impact in the last couple of games we've seen it. Is this like the most picked Prophet has ever been in a day of Dota?
I mean, it's the two teams that would pick it, right? Imperial likes to pick the Furon a bit, and Alliance, they're Alliance.
Of course, now Tower's going to be going down. It is not going to be denied. Era looking to move forward, wants to get aggressive here, but onto Hesta Joe and Ace there. Is that really the right play? There's low mana on both. Hesta Joe just goes for the TP out. The Sunstrike's going to come in, but TP goes forward before it can connect.
Yep, Noya now getting eyes on Koikfa, gonna follow him around a bit. He's like, alright guys, look at this Invoker. He's actually got nowhere to go. This poor soul, this poor lad, just doesn't know what to do. He's just like, I guess I got a jungle, guys.
I mean,
I don't even know what's going on.
He just hits his level 6, 8.5 minutes into the game. That is not still timing for Invoker. Meanwhile, your Broodmother who's crawling around, she's level 9 already. Mid lane, Yapsor is going to get stuck up. There is going to be that Fire Blast to hold him in place. Look how quickly those spiders just turn his insides to goop. Oh my god.
This is starting to look like kind of what we expected in the laning phase. It puts so much pressure. You're forced to react in such a manner that it makes it super awkward for your lineup. This Broodmother is now going to be going toward a super fast Orchid, and it counters all 3 cores on the side of Escape. Pretty hard. Void, Timbersaw, and Invoker, obviously heroes that rely on the spells. Invoker probably the least where it counters him. Of course, in like team fight situations it will, but killing the Void and Timbersaw catches them out with ease.
Is this 100% an Orchid? I've seen some Brood Echo Sabers recently.
I would assume it would be, just because of the lineup that he's playing versus. It's super good versus the cores, like I mentioned, and yeah, it's kind of just what I assume.
Alright, PA goes into that Vlad, just trying to get some sustain to herself so she can just keep hopping in. I mean, PA has not really a care in the world. It's not like her team is relying on her for damage right now. She has all the time she needs to scale up and not feel pressure to try to take fights too early. So Ace has just been chilling, going in, tossing out a couple daggers. But you look at the net worth, and Brood and Prophet, even at these early levels, are really holding their own.
Yeah, I mean, how do you really kill this PA, right? Like, if he gets chronoed and you use everything on him, okay, he'll die. But there's no real stun or lockdown. They have to use the Chronosphere to pretty much bring him down, because he can just blink out of a cold snap, blink out of everything else they use. So they have to commit a lot in order to kill this Phantom Assassin hero.
I mean, you look at where the damage is coming from Escape, where their initiations are coming from, and it's going to be a Clockwork hookshot in and then a rock drop by the Warlock, and neither of those buddies have their ultis yet. Yeah. So, I mean, Escape just can't fight right now. Right now, they're still scrambling around for farms, scrambling for experience, and Imperial are having the time of their lives.
Yeah, they're pressuring safe lane. They know that there's nothing that these heroes can really do to react to this. If an Escape really wants to react, they have to bring like 3 or 4 man gank squad to kill like 1 hero on each side on the side of Imperial.
Speaking of gank squad, they're moving in. They're smoked up. Yapsor, even without that hookshot, he can look to try to scout things out there. It's going to be the Void jumping in, gets the Chrono off onto the Prophet. That'd be a great hero to take down. Meanwhile, in the back lines, Noya fighting for his life, just walking away, walks straight into the Chakram. Looks like Noya will bite off more than he can chew, tries to get the denied to neutrals, but will go down to the Timber Chain.
I think that's good. The Chrono was forced out on the Furion, and he just runs in and tanks the gank. He runs into the Clockwork and the Warlock, and he's just like, whatever, guys, kill me.
Name of the game is Space. Yeah. All right. So Imperial, they still get something for that after all. I mean, Ace continued to farm up. Looks like that Blightstone is eventually going to be a Desolator, most likely.
Yep. Gives them more tower pressure now with the Blightstone plus Treant, so they're able to pressure this top tower. And look at Escape. They're just like, what do we do? They're just running like this crew. Because
all right, Warlock has ult. This is big.
They have to use like so many different. They have to bring so many heroes to really kill any of the cores on the side of Imperial. It's actually so hard for Escape to really do much.
All right, Clockwork needs this one little siege creep, and he will be able to hit his 6.
Midas acquired.
All right, he's so close. He's 586 out of 600 to get that level 6. But it's all good. I think once Escape actually get their ults, do you think one really smooth, cohesive team fight can get this started? Like, I'm talking Chronosphere on top of Hookshot, with a Chakram rolling out throughout, and then the Chaotic Offering to keep everyone stunned up.
I think if Imperial gives them that opportunity, they're making a big mistake, because their lineup is not made for team fighting just yet. It's still just about this split mentality, keep splitting, get such a massive advantage that we can just kind of steamroll them over. And that's, I mean, they're on their way to be doing that. Like, this PA is massive, Broodmother's massive, Furion's not as massive, but he's an off lane, so he's owning.
We are about 12.5 minutes in, and the net worth chart's already a little bit out of control here. Now Noya, again, making some space, drawing that aggression while the rest of his team is able to push in. Trixie, rotating through the jungle, may not like this so much. The Courier.
Here comes the Brood.
Yeah, it's giving him an opportunity to go forward. There's the Brood. The time dilation comes out, but it's not really scaring anyone too much. Trixie's got to watch his step. He's going to get stunned up from the Mana League, and he's got nothing else to his name. Meanwhile, Clockwork falls. This is just a bloodbath. Imperial.
He died to spiders. There wasn't even a hero there. He just ran him down with the spiders when he's orchided.
Broodmother, please relax. It's 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, they also pick up the kill on Trixie, who's, I mean, he has got nothing. Like, he's got just these treads, he's got a 4-man shield, a falling blade, and he's on his way to a headdress, but he doesn't have this flags, he doesn't have any of the items where he wants to be. It's just, this is such a disruptive lineup from Imperial, and Escape is just unable to find their footing in any way right now. It's super devastating for them. Like I mentioned, they have to commit so many different things to get a hero kill, but I think that they have to do something at some point. They can't just let Imperial play their game style like this.
This super deep ward from the Dire side is going to scout out all these TP rotations in. Broodmother is still going to get Chrono. There's a Sunstrike on top of her and the Meatball. She's in some serious trouble. Baby Knight is able to pop the ult, but not enough lifesteal to get her through that. Now that's just a question mark for me, because again, this ward down here near the tier 2 Radiant Tower did scout out those rotations.
Yeah, I guess he didn't give a crap. Yeah,
That's Broodmother. He's indestructible, but I mean, that 1 kill alone is almost 700 gold straight to the void.
Yeah, it's a big swing, but it's definitely, you know, one of many steps for Escape to make it back in this game.
I mean, PA is more than halfway towards Desolator, just needs about 800 more gold, and that's going to be tough. Those towers are just going to melt.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do so much damage in these fights too with Bloodlust. Like, he's a much harder carry than anything Escape has, so as far as laning phase goes, they've got, pretty much Imperial got everything they wanted, and now they even have this PA who scales super hard into the later stages of the game, so yeah, it's definitely really hard for Escape. They have to play as this very cohesive unit, and they're going to have to just, you know, they have to be very careful going into this game. It's super tough for them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the net worth breakdown, and Broodmother, PA, Nature's Prophet, they're all just at the top of the chart. They're exactly where they need to be. But if you check the overall net worth graph, that is going to be that big spike right there where Broodmother was killed off. So it seems like all Escape have to do is isolate those really high-value cores, take them out once or twice, and they've found themselves small stepping stones back into this.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's still so sad. Like, you know, they have to clump up. Like, look at this. Koifu's not even farming with his real hero. He's just using Force Spears to farm.
Oh, bottom lane, Era just going to get dropped on. Looks like he's just trying to clear himself out of here. He's just going to be mana burned down, and maybe Ace will have some mercy, just going back to farming.
Yeah, max reactive armor. He's fairly tanky. They can't really kill him yet without the Desolator, and they don't have like an ogre there for the lockdown.
Hook shot in. Yapstar gets himself onto the cliff. Well, he's going to need to just chill there for a little bit. He doesn't have mana for a TP.
Baby Knight's going to go back in. On the bottom lane, we do see a rock dropped out. There's 3 people Fado bonded, but there's nothing really they can do to chase up. Era's trying, but misses the Timber Chain. Like,
yeah, that's a really big cooldown from the Warlock. Now Cinderin's fresh out of mana. This Golem is just going to be bopping up creeps. Sunstrike comes in and will be able to finish off the Prophet. Very well played by the Invoker. It's something. That Prophet was pretty high value there. That's almost 750 gold going to our Invoker.
I'm actually trying to look. Okay, so I think he was sitting at like 420 health, and Sunstrike does 412 pure damage, but with the intellect, you know, intellect didn't use spell damage, it was actually just enough to kill him, so
that's some
that was like perfect.
Hardcore math right there. Now PA cleans up the Golem for a little extra money. She's doing really well for herself. Completed Desta, now 500 more gold on top of that. We really haven't seen Ace's massive impact in this game just yet. 104, definitely not feeding, not letting his team down, but this PA has so much room to grow.
Yeah, he's doing his job. I really liked his early rotation in the bottom lane, like just kind of moving around a bit. But yeah, he's doing his job. You know, he's just gotta farm. That's all he's really gotta do.
I mean, I think this is a game with a PA. I've seen the least pressure on this PA because the rest of his team is just making so much space. PA is free to farm completely. There's no pressure to be that position 1 right now. You got Broodmother just chewing through towers, chewing through heroes. Similar story with Nature's Prophet. So PA can just relax, farm up some items, and now it looks like a Roche attempt coming in, and Imperial should be able to snag that one up without any trouble.
It really is the dream PA game. Like, they don't have anything that really counters a PA in any way on the side of Escape. Like, no actual hero that just does, like, it's just a good hero versus PA. And yeah, with all the space in the world, it's great.
Ara's going to be going in, takes out a couple Spiderlings. Nice little payday for him. Wasn't really expecting that one.
He's like, oh, thank you.
All of a sudden, he just pings out like, oh, I just got a crap load of gold. All right, Trixie in the top lane, looking to go for a little bit of split push. Has his Vlad's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, he caught up well. You know, in the last couple minutes, he's farmed a lot of money on his side. Like Invoker obviously getting the Sunstrike kill, as well as the Meatball kill on the Broodmother earlier. You know, it's not the. I mean, it's pretty bad for Escape still, but
it's not great.
It's you know, it could be worse, right? It could always be worse.
It could always be worse. Now PA is going to go ahead, just take out that bottom tower with ease. Again, the Desolator making this super easy. So now, not only can the Broodmother and the Prophet split push any lane by themselves, the PA can also do that.
Yeah, and if he finds like any of these support heroes isolated, he can just throw them
Speaking
down.
of isolated, PA is going to be all alone. There's going to be some TP rotations in, but look at her burst. She's going to melt down. That is only going to be the Aegis. Now the rest of Imperial, they're on the move. They want to go back in. They want to find something here, but Escape, they had a game plan. Go in, burn the Aegis, and get the hell out before Imperial clean you up.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, good thing that they're at least putting pressure on. They're not feeling like they're just like, okay, we're just gonna get run over. No, they're definitely like trying to do stuff. Obviously, they are trying to fight back in this game. It's very hard. They're putting down a lot of wards, a lot of aggressive wards, some defensive wards as well. They're just, they're still running around with this unit though. They kind of have to be. I mentioned it multiple times, and they are definitely adhering to it. They need to do it.
Smoke up.
Baby Knight walks into a sentry, breaks the smoke. Quite for now though, getting burst down. Nice one from Yaptor, actually isolating Baby Knight.
Yeah, the cogs are coming in. Baby Knight's just sitting there. Nice rock drop. This spider's getting low. He's going to try to pop the ult and get through this, but that is not going to be enough. The hunger is not insatiable enough. So that Broodmother goes down. Invoker loses his life, but still 500 gold straight to his pockets.
Big, decent swing there for Escape. Just because they had so many heroes there to get the experience as well as the net worth from that kill.
Yapsor going in, just trying to zone out Ace, but he doesn't have a hook shot. He's just trying to do what he can with Flare, and that's a bloodlusted PA. 2 slotted right now. It's not something you really want to tangle with unless you got some big ults.
Golem pressuring the mid lane. They're actually going to get this mid lane tower from Escape right now. Bam.
Very nice. Escape making a little bit of space for themselves. Again, it is still a tough game. You look at the overall net worth chart, it's still about 10,000 at sub 20 minutes, but I'm surprised that Escape are holding on as well as they are.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty decent job of just, holding the line, I guess you could say. Like sticking together, hold the line, your buddy partner system. Stay with the buddy. Make sure you're not traveling alone versus this Imperial lineup. They have, I think now it's 2 Orchids online for the Furion and the Broodmother. And yeah, like we mentioned multiple times, PA with Desolator can obviously kill somebody if they're isolated alone. And he's very close to his BKB, which is great for him. I mean, it's going to be even harder for them to burst him down with that.
When do you think this Broodmother is going to fall off? Because there's definitely a lot of time still for Baby Knight, but Broodmother's not one of those heroes that stays unbelievably active forever. Sooner or later, Escape, they'll be able to pick up a gem, they'll be able to just keep the sentries up, they'll be able to keep the pressure up, because we see how quickly a Brood can be bursted down alone with just a couple of meatballs and a Sunstrike.
I think he's not going to fall off just yet because of how big the advantage that he has is, but I mean, his job is already kind of done in this game. He put the pressure, he forced all these kind of reactions, this wacky movement across the whole game, and he gave the space for the PA to do what the PA needs to do. This guy is their carry. This guy needs to be the one to basically not 1v5 in an essence, but I guess kind of, yeah. Like he is the late game carry. He's got the BKB, he's got the Deso. He's the one who's going to be doing majority of the physical damage in these instances with the Furion later on. But Baby Knight also has his items. Like he's got his Orc, he's got his BKB. He's a force to be reckoned with still.
Yeah, he's definitely doing some work now. Hesta Joe here, he was 3rd on the net worth chart. Timbersaw's crawled above him. Do you think that's just Nature's Prophet's build? He didn't go for Midas here, so he's not going to be balling out of control, but I do like the Orchid pick. Era! He's in some trouble here. He's going to get stunned. He's mana leaked up as well. There's not much he can do. He can toss out a Chakram. He's going to get silenced up. The Orchid doing all the work in the world. There's going to be a double man chrono, though. Sunstrike to come in. They're trying to get down this PA, but PA can turn again. Has the flat. The lifesteal's going to be there. And look at the Spider just coming in. Rock is dropped. Everyone's getting low, but Ace and the Spider BK beat up. Baby Knight's hunting for more. There's going to be a dagger connecting up to Quake, but they've got the slow. Baby Knight stops to, or rather, there's a Midas to stop and go, and that's just going to be the Invoker falling down. He Midases before he dies, trying to get the most out of his gold, but he knows he's down there. There's going to be a TP in from Era, one of the lone survivors on his team, just trying to clean up here. Moya getting low. There's going to be the Forge Spirits doing work. They will get a kill. Yapsor able to go and at least get something for Escape. It's still not a great team fight for them. In fact, Yapsor might be in some trouble here. The Spider's coming in. They will be able to run away. Era trying to go through, cleans up most of the Spiders, and the rest are going to be running for their lives. Timbersaw is the best chance that Escape have to deal with those Spiderlings.
Yep, all the ultimates expended from Escape though, and Imperial's lineup doesn't have any ultimates really, so they're just like, they're ready to go all the time with those type of fights. So all they really have to do is rely on their BKBs, I guess, a bit. But like you were mentioning, the Furion kind of falling behind a bit. I think that there's just only so much farm on the map to go around, so he's like struggling to even find it. Like the lanes are pretty pushed in. He doesn't want to put himself in such a deep perspective.
TP in and a Sprout. Looks like they're not going to be able to find the Warlock. There they go. They are able to cross back through, and Baby Knight just crawling across the ravine. TP's in from Escape, though. They want to fight this. They're not going to let this go without a struggle there. Trixie, he doesn't have his Chrono. He's walking aggressively as if he does. And now Baby Knight going in, getting a lot of vision, dropping onto Cinder, and look at Cinder go down. That threw a Shadow Word as well. There's going to be a silence up. The Void cannot time walk away. Can they keep him locked down, though? Silence is going to end at some point. The dagger comes in, and one more munch. Baby Knight's back on a killing spree. This is getting bad. Escape, they had that little window of hope where they were able to go through and at least clean up the end of a team fight, but Imperial still keeping them on their toes. No space to breathe.
Yeah, Escape has to rely on all these ultimates, while Imperial, like I said, they don't really have ultimates. They can just constantly be going, and all the lanes are being pushed on their side. They have all the momentum in the world. They have the Spheron to keep pushing the lanes in. They have obviously the Wrath of Nature to push the waves in a bit more, and yeah, it's looking like Imperial's game plan is just working out super well. The laning phase, of course, went super hard in their favor, and whenever the ultimates are down on the side of Escape, it's their go time.
This tower just going down incredibly fast again. Deso, Spiderlings, Trance, and I mean, this is just really difficult. Can Escape hold the high ground here? Because that is going to be a bit of a challenge for Imperial.
I mean, they can. It's just, it's the same kind of game plan, though. Imperial isn't going to group up, really, unless they see the opportunity. They're going to make, like, these small little, like, 2 or 3 man plays to make the pickups, push the lanes in as much as possible, and then they'll make plays after that. After Escape maybe, like, uses an ultimate or 2. Oh, Quake actually gets, I think, yeah, he's spotted by that Sprout, right?
Yeah, just gonna TP out. They know he's there, but they don't really want to deal with him. They just want to make him leave, get some more space for Imperial to clear out bottom. Well, Broodmother just sits mid.
Ogre's their only stun as well, so it's like, okay, we can't really stop a TP. If he's already TPing out, he's gone for now.
Yeah,
until they build later.
I mean, Pia has Basher. You can always rely on that lucky first hit bash proc.
Yeah.
Right, looks like Imperial, they're grouping up in the Radiant jungle. This Radiant jungle has really been their home all game. Radiant really lost control of that super early on.
Yeah, great pressure from the Fear and Ogre in the laning phase led to this loss of control of their jungle, and so it's just a ward battle in this top secret shop area.
They're going in. Has to Joseph from trouble will fall as Invoker burns him down with a meatball. Timbersaw just skates on through.
That's nice though, the double boots of travel play to be able to get some at least stun pickups on the Furin when he's split pushing, but bottom lane, yeah, just a catapult hitting the tower. Actually, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, they're just going in. I think Imperial, they're playing this one patient. Maybe waiting for the next Roshan before they try to go in and get too crazy with their pushing. Is there a chance that Imperial lose their window to this game? That they just wait too long, they don't push hard enough, they don't get racks at a reasonable time, and all of a sudden Escape just scale up?
I mean, it's definitely potential. It's not like the Escape's out of the game by any means, but they do have this, they have a PA with Bloodlust, they have a Furon with Bloodlust, and they have a Broodmother with Bloodlust they're all so farmed that it's still like very good in a position for them. They just have to be careful not to get caught by these little ganks. When Escape gets these ganks without having to expend an ultimate, it's massive for them.
Oh, speaking of ganks, they're going to be going in. Smoke pops. Looks like Ogre caught on the zone again, making space for the rest of his team. He's going to be going down. He's able to spray out and ignite before he goes. Will there be some follow-up here? Imperial thinking about bringing the Broodmother into this. There's going to be Ace going in, possibly BKB, but it's going to be trapped in the Chronos. That BKB is effectively burned. Takes a little bit of damage there from the Sunstrike. Dagger connects and the bash onto the Warlock. Look at the crits coming out of Ace right now. Continuing to move forward. The Dagger goes in onto the Void. Trixie, you can't time walk that one away. Going to be slowed down, and Ace continuing to blink on in. They get the Orchid off, and that's going to be a dead Void shock from slowing down Ace. Ace is getting low. Is able to blink back to some allies.
Yeah, Era almost has his Lotus Orb completed, which will really help out himself as well as his teammates. He can remove the silence whenever they throw the Orchids on them. And as I say that, I think he just builds the Yules.
Cool.
Okay, look, he's looking out for himself.
Yep.
Screw you guys.
I mean, it's gonna help.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. You can still remove that, and it gives them a little bit more ways to stop any TPs out. And maybe, I mean, he still could go for the Lotus Orb afterwards if he wants to with this plate mail, but...
Many thanks.
Leave it in the eyes of the beholder.
Alright, Imperial, again, like you mentioned, they're not reliant on those big team fight ults, so they can just kind of regroup, get their mana up, get their health up, and take a couple more creeps, continue to pressure Escape. Now, in that last fight, the only thing that was really burned down was the Chronosphere. They've still got the rock to drop, so Chaotic Offering is going to be a huge component of these fights.